Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, after a few months, I finally went to get a haircut, and the person who usually cuts my hair told me I look more homeless than usual. I don't know what the hell to make of that, but what I do know is that we're gonna have some fun sitting down to watch Hera playing as the Armenians in blue take on Vivi playing as the Burmese in red. Now, while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal Age ASAP, why don't we take a look at the civilizations we'll be watching today? The Armenians are an infantry civilization with a few cool units. To start with, all of their infantry come with extra line of sight and are available in Age earlier, which means Armenians do get spearmen in Dark Age, longswordsmen and pikemen in Feudal Age, and two-handed swordsmen, champions, and halberdiers, all of those in Castle Age. Now, these same infantry units, except for their spearman line units, can be upgraded to get a big ol' plus 30 HP boost, and their first unique unit, the warrior priest, blurs the line between man of war and man of the cloth, being an infantry unit that can actually heal friendly units and gather relics at the same time. Now, to support their slower moving bipedal army on the battlefield, the Armenians can field a second unique unit, one that is all the rage, the composite bowman, a foot archer whose attack actually ignores the armor of all land-based units except for siege. And in order to help the Armenians get their military-industrial complex up and running as fast as possible, their first fortified church gets a free relic, their mule carts are cheaper, and all mule cart technologies are 25% more effective, which means they get better lumberjacks and miners. And as I say better, I should probably clarify to say more productive, as Hera pulls his first boar of the day at the 3-minute mark. Let's pivot to the east side of the map, where we've got a Burmese player, a civilization that focuses on its mounted units. Their battle elephants automatically come with extra armor and can be upgraded to get even more armor. Their cavalry can be upgraded in a powerful attack boost against archers, and their unique unit, the Arambai, is a ranged cavalry unit that throws, of all things, darts at its opponents with absolutely terrible accuracy. But the deal is, even darts that miss deal 100% damage to whatever unit they land on, compared to the usual 50% of other archer units. Now, to support and protect their mounted units, especially their elephants on the battlefield, the Burmese actually have a few pretty cool options. Contesting our infantry civilization in a way. If you decide to go the infantry route with the Burmese, all of your infantry get a progressive attack boost starting in Feudal, all the way up to a free +3 in Imperial, or you can choose to go the route of the game's only spellcaster, the monks. If you go this route, monastery techs are 50% cheaper, and take a look at this to help you pay for those relics. Take a look at the minimap. Do you notice anything? Like, the Vietnamese know where their opponents start, the Burmese start the game knowing exactly where all the relics on the map are. Now, in order to build the infrastructure that's needed to pump out huge amounts of units, all lumber camp technologies are free of charge. These are the two civilizations, pretty damn good players, if I may say so, based on their elos, based on their names, based on their records. And let's take a look at the bases, while the players both sit on 17 villagers apiece, and will likely head up to Feudal at some point in the very, very near future. Vivi's base, our Burmese, holy moly, is this an open base? The entire western portion of his map is completely open. His primary gold incredibly exposed. Primary stone, oh my goodness, I think this might be one of the few times when both the primary stone and gold are both on the same side and both really, really exposed. I mean, usually when you have something this exposed, you get to see some stone, albeit generally in the last little while it's been on the slope of a hill. But yikes, Vivi, not the greatest of bases. Forests, 1, 2, 3 in the northeast and south position. So not really too worried about getting rear-ended here by Hera, but a full frontal might just be very problematic for our Burmese, who has a few extra gold patches to the back, which is not terrible. He's also got a relic nearby. Looks like his scout. Okay. Taking a break from herding deer. Hera's going to see this. Or maybe not. No, he sees it. What is Vivi doing? Why is he taking a break? He hasn't even begun scouting out on the map. Hera has already seen... actually, no, he hasn't seen exactly where his opponent is, but he saw the scout. He saw the additional pile of gold. He's going to see another pile of gold, so he's going to know he's in the right general area. Now, speaking of full frontal, Hera's base also not exactly the easiest to wall off, although he does have one forest at least in the very, very forward position. His primary gold also very exposed. Primary stone also very exposed in a backwards 3 shape. And he has additional stone and gold to the back. So whereas Vivi has 2 piles of gold to the back and his extra stone is very much exposed out here, Hera's got additional gold and stone to the back, and his extra gold is, I mean, what the hell? It's all the way out here. What are these atrocious spawns for both of these players? Let's see how the hell this game goes and progresses, because right now, these are 2 very ugly bases, very ugly starting positions. Let's see what the players are doing now that they are both in Feudal Age. Horse Collar for our Burmese, Horse Collar and Double Bit Axe, actually research for both of them. So both of them getting these standard upgrades. Militarily, we are seeing an archery range go up for our Armenian. Our Burmese just has his original barracks, hasn't even started producing yet any secondary structure, walling off the south. Hera pinging over here on the mini-map. I wonder why. Not too sure. I mean, he saw the lumber camp. Maybe he's telling Vivi, hey, why aren't you defending this? I can easily attack this. Vivi probably saying, okay, why don't you try attacking it with your scout, and 5 villagers will just absolutely surround your scout and kill him. Vivi finally discovers where his opponent is. Ages. Actually, 1 age behind Hera's discovering where his base is. And Vivi now decides to make an issue of this villager. Will Hera save her, or, oh no. First kill of the game going to our Burmese here, who absolutely slaughters that villager and could potentially get an archer here, no? I mean, these guys attack on a 5 now. The archer doesn't have any armor, so 6 swipes of the sword. I think 24 HP should be enough, no? To defend against this. This guy comes with 2 pierce armor, and these guys only attack on a 4, which means they do 2 damage. They need 12 shots to the 6. So Vivi perhaps missing a bit of an opportunity to, at the very least, get some HP down from that one archer. I think there was a reinforcing archer, a second one along the way. So whether or not he could have killed that archer, big question mark. But decides not to try, instead completely absconds, doesn't even locate the town center of Hera, and just heads straight back home. It looks like our secondary structures for Feudal Age are starting to go up in archery range for our Burmese as well. And our Armenians still nothing a brewing over here. Both of them sitting on similar populations, 32 to 32. And Hera, oh my goodness. This is a Mr. Yo level wall off, although it is open here for just a brief second, right up until he decides to close it. And Vivi choosing instead to go a bit of a funnel route. Okay, so you're playing against the Armenians. You know they're not exactly a cavalry forward civilization at the moment. And so what can really enter through here? Archers and infantry. So it's not a bad idea. You don't really have to wall off the entire front of your base, whereas Hera is playing very much against a cavalry civilization. And so he might have some trouble, let's put it like that, if he doesn't fully wall off, because those quicker Burmese units might actually penetrate and then cause a bit of damage, which he does not want to deal with, if I had to guess. As for now, he is being shooed back all the way to his base, though. Our Burmese here with a whole bunch of skirmishers should be able to zone out this one spearman, which is really the counter to this scout cavalry. Looks like the scout cav took a bit of damage, although not from the spearman, because that would have been 18 HP damage, and he was at what, 24? So he must have taken a few shots from these archers when I wasn't looking. And what is this, Bush B? Always Bush B. I swear I've seen Bush A. I never remember what map I saw it on, but I believe, oh, I want to say Yucatan, but I don't know, just something tells me that's not right. Hera decides, you know what, I think I can defend at home, so why don't I just go across the map and attack? Spearman gets a little lazy, stops halfway through, but now the Burmese army is inside the base, and Hera is going to start losing units here just by virtue of numbers. Does manage to zone out, so beautiful move here out of Armenian to carve up the Burmese army in half, and then uses the fact that these skirmishers are stuck up here to gun down the spearmen with his own skirmishers. But look at that, Vivi says, F that, I'm not worried about a little bit of HP being taken off my units. Gets another skirmisher across the map. What is Hera doing? Not really much here with these units. They're kind of just hanging out. Oh no, he's gonna lose another villager. He loses another villager. 4 kills to 3, 2 of them villagers for our Burmese, who is getting a lot of damage on. Hera is returning home with that one lazy spearman, but loses another skirmisher. Okay. This is not good for our Armenian. That being said, why? Okay, the scout with 2 HP. Might as well just go attack a house, no? Might as well just distract your opponent at this point. Although, I guess he could abscond. There is a chance. There's a small chance he can sneak by here and not take any town center fire. I mean, 2 HP is so risky. These guys will do 1 damage, but there's 3 of them, so they one-shot this guy. Oh, and Hera evens up the kill count, but he did lose 2 villagers. That being said, he is ahead 1 villager and finally cleans up the first wave of aggression, but there is now a second wave. What's his scout's HP? Oh my god, this is a battle of super duper weak scouts shaping up over here. Hera's not even able to finish off his wall off. Vivi already heading up to Castle Age, a good 20 seconds ahead of his opponent, and he causes Hera to garrison a bunch of villagers and archers here, which slows Hera down just even a little bit more. And Vivi's got to find a way to slow his opponent down because his opponent already has 2 more villagers. He's got 6 more army supply. Make that 7. Make that an infinite percentage, right? 7 over 0 is infinity or uncalculable. If I remember my... when did we learn about dividing by 0? Grade 8? Grade 7? I don't remember. All those many years ago before I became what my hair cutter... I don't. What do you call a person who cuts your hair? A barber? I forget what the exact term is, but before she said I looked super homeless. More homeless than usual. I don't know why that stuck in my mind. I mean, I'm pretty relaxed when it comes to how I look. I'm not a big fan of getting all dressed up fancy schmancy. If any of you watching this have newborns, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. Even if you don't have newborns, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Even before I had the kid, I have a t-shirt that I own. I have 2 t-shirts that I own that I just wash and wear endlessly. The first one is a Coca-Cola t-shirt that I got at Walmart for like $7. And it's the softest fabric you'll ever touch. It's so soft. Some kind of cotton polyester. I don't know what the hell it is. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about clothing. And the second is a shirt I got from Uniqlo about 7 or 8 years ago. Actually, my cousin bought it for me. And it's basically at this point just like a rag that's sitting on me. That's decaying day by day. But it's, again, so soft and comfortable. In any event, you did not tune in to listen to me rant about this, about how homeless I look. Hera moving forward with a fortified church, gets the first relic. Remember, they get one for free. I wonder if the Burmese doesn't have vision of this. Do you see the relics on the map? No, you don't see them once they're garrisoned, right? Never mind, that's a stupid question. You only see them when they're ungarrisoned. And look at this. A mangonel and monks. So we are going for a good old-fashioned Armenian smush right as the Burmese cavalry pops out. Ooh, these knights have to be careful. Does he have any monks? He's got 1. He's training a second. He's got to start healing these units up. Why are you healing the light cavalry unit first? Go heal the knight first. Not expecting perhaps an engagement right now, unless he wants to use these guys to snipe his opponent's monks. Has Vivi seen any of these monks, by the way? No, he hasn't. Hera to the back of this market, another town center, and a very, very aggressive town center. I mean, he's abusing Vivi's resource location right now. He's attacking the primary gold, trying to dislodge the villagers from the gold. At the same time, he wants to take his secondary stone. I'm surprised he's not just moving the mangonel somewhere here so that it could attack the villagers. Instead, he's going straight for that town center. But Vivi rather says, you know what? I don't really care about that. I'm just going to move out with my units here. Maybe try to snipe a monk or a reinforcement or 2. Looks like he wanted to close in on the warrior priest, but wasn't able to. And the town center continues to be besieged as a wolf. Fenrir slams into action. The villager cuts him down. And this is a palisade gate. Hera, okay. not exactly one that needs to tell Hera what to do here, but I got a little nervous there when he only had 1 palisade, 1 tile there. That being said, there's 2 knights mixed into here, so even a palisade gate's not going to last, or even a house is not going to last super long. Ooh, where are you going, warrior priests? You are sacrificing yourself. Redemption having been researched for our Burmese. Oh my god, he is actually deking and dodging and avoiding mangonel shots with monks, and he gets a conversion, gets a good amount of HP off these spearmen, but they close in. Tinkle, tinkle. He moves into the town center radius. Should be able to get a spearman or two. Does get one. Is there a monk? Where's the monk? Okay, so he lost one monk for a mangonel. Fantastic trade there for Vivi, who now pushes in to the eastern portion of our Armenian base. And he moves in for round number 2. Your mango belongs to me, the juiciest mangoes of all. But the mango just moves out of range, and there's no way that this monk can engage into here. There is a relic, 2 relics now. So this fortified church fires 2 arrows. I love that Hera just keeps poking in with these warrior priests, trying to get his opponent to garrison. And what the hell is this? I mean, we've seen Hera do this a lot. Vivi is now doing it to Hera, and look at this, he's walling it up. By the way, we're getting to see a good amount of infantry. I wonder if we're going to get to see halberdiers in Castle Age. They're already pikemen, but Vivi, holy shit, no fewer than 15 villagers. He wants the primary gold of his opponent. He says, you've lamed me? You're trying, rather, to lame me? LOL. Let's see how that works out for you now that I'm going to be able to attack into you. Running this pikeman. How the hell did that pikeman get that kill? He must have been attacking the villager for the last 45 minutes. Vivi probably very happy to lead these units on a chase, but misses an opportunity to get a monk. That was very sour. He's going straight for the mangonels. Not a bad secondary, silver medal here. But is unable to get it. Loses everything except for 1 light cav, and a Rambai are out. Or rather, going to be out. More of them being trained. Actually, never mind. When a Rambai is out, what a beautiful unit. I mean, the horse of the Mangadai, that jet black horse, is beautiful. This one seems to be a similar type of horse. I've said this before. I'm not too sure all the different breeds of horses. Somebody did correct me that they're most likely war horses and not thoroughbreds. By the way, blah, blah, blah goes the caster as a big fat Armenian castle gets dropped here. So both players laming the primary gold of their opponent. Vivi needs to find, he must have seen the stone pile up here. Yeah, Hera getting the better of the trades here. I think he's already more than halfway through mined this stone here. He's got 13 villagers mining it. What are Vivi's 15 villagers doing? They're going after wood. Okay, maybe now they'll go after the stone. And wow, it's not every day you see an attempted base trade. Where the hell does Hera think he's going with these slow-moving infantry units? First of all, how the hell did they get in here? Oh yeah, no, the castle busted down that house. Oh no, he's not going after the stone at all. He's going after another castle. Behind us, Vivi's got 17 villagers on stone, 17 villagers on gold. An ambulance just turned on its siren right in my parking lot. And the Arambai move in. This is Hera's last gold pile. I mean, his secondary gold pile is all the way out here. He is not mining that ever. He can't mine this. And now this one is under attack by a Rambai, but their armor is not great. Only one, so a beautiful tower. Hera might want to put a second tower here. Who's kidding who? If he can afford the stone. And now they're both players are teefing. I mean, look at Vivi, 21 villagers on stone. Not very common, a base trade in Age of Empires. We've seen players drop castles in front of each other's bases. That's not what a base trade is. A base trade is basically, if I were to define it, the way I like to define it, both players are just making a push into each other's bases while ignoring defending theirs, or at the very maximum defending it slightly. Like what's happening right now. Do you see Vivi training any counter defense, any counter units here? Any defensive? I mean, this is a very cocky castle placement. What the hell was that? He saw the mangonel. Where are these villagers going? What are they doing? Oh, he's moving in with the Arambai. No, why did you delete your castle? Okay, he just replaces it right up here. I maybe deleted it so that these Arambai could move in. And they are missing all the live long day, but the composite bowman is out. One gets converted, immediately gets gunned down by the castle, which was the castle that trained it and then turned against it. a Rambai here. So like I said, Hera not really making an effort to defend this, expanding backwards. Vivi not really making an effort to defend here. Look at this entire dead zone. He is just... Actually, you know what? He's defending it a little bit more than Hera is. Hera plopped down a defensive castle here. Vivi's dropped 2 defensive castles. So not exactly a base trade yet. Maybe I got a little too excited. Vivi is not really pushing. Okay, now he's pushing. For the 9th time today, I'm going to contradict myself what I'm saying. Will this castle go up? This is a huge attempt to stop this castle from going up. This is 11 units here by Hera committed. This is 2/3 of his army right now. But the castle is up. And now this army is in huge amounts of trouble. Oh, it is so slow moving. The monk, he's not targeting it. He wanted to convert it, and he gets a conversion on the monk. Warrior priest double fisting his weapons of war. Will attack that castle unstopped. He will take it down, but we'll see how far he gets before Vivi decides to pay him some mind and attack him from behind. Maybe now? Oh my god, look at their accuracy. 20% base accuracy right now, I believe. Yeah, 20% at the bottom there. It jumps up to a massive 30. Look at that. Look at where are you going? Where are you going? Why did you stop attacking this unit? Let's see what the hell's going on the map, because 36 minutes in, Hera is already a minute and a half away from Imperial. That is how he plans on defending this. We've seen this in recent times. Hera, I don't know that there's any other player I've seen in the last month or two who is just able to rush his ass up to Imperial so damn fast, especially while taking on so much pressure and aggression. But look at that. Where the hell does he have 13 villagers on gold? I was going to say he probably has no villagers on gold. His secondary gold has just been lamed. Primary gold, no. Secondary gold, no. Fourth? Oh, here it is. Oh, but the Arambai are here. The Arambai are here for a hot second before the composite bowmen show up and absolutely destroy them. This guy's still whacking away at that castle, which I believe is on the high ground, so it means it's taking even less damage than usual. Composite bowmen get converted. Scorpion pops out. Both players are literally throwing whatever the hell they can at each other. The problem for our Burmese, he is so focused on castles, but in 2 seconds, Hera's going to be an Imperial with 3 of his own castles. One very forward, one defensive, and another defensive. And we know what that means. Trebuchets. I'm surprised he's not building one out of here. Why is he training it here? He doesn't really have much going on over here. Oh, and look at this. Vivi lames, but somehow Hera still has 13 villagers on gold. Is it just these guys with the big gold ingots that are dropping them off? Where the hell is he mining gold? Let's take a look at what's going on the map, because the mini-map is gone bonkers again. Somehow these games always end up with an absolute bonkers mini-map. Warrior priest still attacking. Composite bowman now taking down a mining camp. Castle lames the farms, which means these farmers are now lumberjacks. These 2 castles are still up. Hera finally training. Oh, it looks like a Treb over here. But where? Okay, never mind. It was those 13, because look at Hera's gold villagers now. 0 villagers on gold. Now you might be saying, okay, Armenians infantry civilization, why doesn't he just go full on infantry? They're not the most expensive units in the game. Even the warrior priest isn't super duper expensive. Yeah, he is. 60 gold for the warrior priest. That being said, the composite bowman's not that expensive, and pikemen are not that expensive. Hera has stopped all military production except trebuchets. He knows that his opponent has gone full on Arambai, which are not going to be that great at taking down trebs. They sneak in through the back here, try to get some villagers, but Arambai are not that good of a raiding unit just because their accuracy is so shit. You need, what, 15 of them to potentially one-shot a villager, maybe? Just because 12 are going to miss and then 3 will actually do some damage. But his castle falls to the north of Hera's base. His castle to the east of Hera's base is also going to fall. Is going to be a double fall whammy here. Oh my goodness. 1 down. This one's going to go down as well. And he's second now. 1 more ball. And Hera has held. The push into his base kind of looks like it's stopped. And now the Trebs in the west are able to focus down the last remaining offensive castle. That being said, Hera is Hera's 145 villagers are somehow finding resources to gather, despite the fact that he's been lamed off of all of his resources. By the way, Vivi as well. Okay, so he's got 10 villagers mining gold over here. Relic count is 3-2 in favor of our Burmese, who yet again... No, never mind. That's a Hera castle. Hera was placing that castle. Must have seen... What the hell is this doing here? Why is there a random trade cart? Here we go. Let's see if 21 Arambai can actually pick off some villagers. Okay, so far 21 has become 19. I mean, the villagers are pretty clumped, which means multiple of them are going to die, but 21 became 16. What a terrible trade for a few villagers. Vivi, though, does have the army supply lead. I mean, this is just an absolute crazy game. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't really know who's in the lead. Look at the scores. Apparently, the computer thinks that Hera is very much in the lead with a 70%, 60 to 70% score lead. That being said, there's a whole body of Arambai here, and they are not yet enough to even two-shot the Trebs. He does get two. Will he get a third? Probably. Seems like he's kind of committed to it at this point. And then let's see what he decides to do once he gets these guys, because look at Vivi's base on the mini-map. It has been gutted. How long is it taking to get this freaking Treb? Dear Lord, that took a long time. That absolute terrible range. Vivi is stuck in Castle Age. He's doing what you need to do in this scenario, which is just keep pumping out units, but he's also housed with 20 population extra. He's got some lumberjacks to the north. He's got some lumberjacks in the center. He's got some gold miners here, but a composite bowman. How the hell did Vivi collapse so damn... Okay, I was going to say hard. How did he collapse? It looked like he was pushing in so well. 1 castle, 2 castles, 3 castles. Arambai raiding everywhere, but... I mean, he had monks. He had converted composite bowmen. He was getting kills. Let's take a look at the stats, because I feel like that game was super, super close right up until a few minutes ago. I mean, the scores, again, tell a hugely different story than what I think. Maybe I just missed something on the minimap. 35 composite bowmen, 58 Arambai. This is a tough one. I mean, the composite bowmen, if they're clumped, are going to die in seconds, but the Arambai are not exactly the highest HP unit, right? Only 80, and that's with bloodlines. And so 35 composite bowmen, each one attacking on what? On an 8, so just 10 of them needed. So this is enough to kill 3.5 Arambai at a given moment. Hera just a little bit slower than his usual 200 to 300 APM. Right at the end of the game, their peak APM for him. Oh, right at the beginning of the game for Vivi, clicking furiously, queuing villagers, sending sheep to the 4 corners of the wind. Yeah, so look, economically, they were pretty damn close until about halfway through the game. And then our Armenian line just goes way above our Burmese line here. And the economies, yeah, look at that. I mean, that's more than a third of a bigger, more than a third of a bigger economy. Relic gold not really playing a role, but look at this, the Burmese getting the more rare resources out on the map. The scarcer resources, 2 extra castles worth of stone, which is not surprising given how many freaking castles he had out on the map. 7 conversions out of a total army count of 90 is pretty damn good. What is that? 60? No. 7.5% or just under 8%. Yeah, just under 8%, right? Of the conversion. 2 out of 92, nothing to really write home about. Let's take a look at kills. Kills almost identical. Villager kills pretty damn similar. 8 difference in villager kills 45 minutes into a game is not that much, but we need to take a survey of what the hell is going on the map, because this composite bowman, 4 kills. Looks like this might be Vivi's last gold patch. 29 villagers on gold, 20 of them here. And it looked like if he had just stopped training a few Arambai, he would have had the gold to go up to Imperial. Actually, what is that? I thought he had like 1,000 right when the game ended. No, never mind. So he's got a little bit less than he needs to in terms of gold. Literally 17 golden ingots away from Imperial, but 300 food. To the south, what is on fire here? The siege workshop being taken out by the Treb. The warrior priests, no kills on them, but they are being annoying and trying to zone out units here. Another castle here by Hera right in the middle. So more and more lanes of attack, lanes of defense, and lanes of reinforcement are being clogged up here by these Armenian structures. That being said, Vivi did a pretty damn good job delaying and kind of stopping and laming some of these resource gathering out of Hera. These two players tore into each other for the first 35-40 minutes of the game. Actually, you know what, for the basically the first, I'm trying to think, basically the entirety of the game, Vivi was very offensive minded the whole time. And what are you to the north? Okay, so composite bowmen attacking lumber camps all over the place, structures being attacked, random villager and mule cart, donkey cart right in the middle of nowhere. So it looked for a while like we were going to have a good old-fashioned base trade, which, like I said, almost never happens in Age of Empires. But it looks like our Armenian, look at this, just absolutely gutted Vivi's base. Vivi tried to do the same, but he went full on Arambai and then just couldn't close the deal. There was a moment, a brief, shiny, good moment for our Burmese where he just lamed all of the gold. Remember, Hera had 0 villagers on gold and only 2 relics, which are not that many relics. But ultimately, with these 3 trebs that he popped up, but again, I'm going to repeat what I said, which, you guys know I sometimes repeat myself. Lately, if you want to study how to get to Imperial ASAP while under attack, you need to watch Hera play, because I've seen him do this over and over again in the last little while. He just is so good at getting up to Imperial Age. And then look at Vivi. When did Hera get to Imperial, by the way? Is that an economic or a military? It's an economic. 38-minute mark. So he's been in Imperial for 7 minutes, and Vivi just now is starting to gather the relics, the resources needed to go up to Imperial. So 7 minutes where Hera just had endless treb production, able to gun down all of the infrastructure while continuing to expand 142 villagers, even though 36 of them are idle. That still gives him about a 20 villager lead over his opponent in terms of active villagers. And with that, he just absolutely demolishes the Burmese base, and our Burmese did his absolute best to do the exact same thing. Unfortunately for him, he just couldn't do it. And the second Hera got to Imperial, Vivi, as always, had 2 choices, or 3. Number 1, just tap out, GG, which we've seen players do before. Not terrible, live to fight another day. Number 2, try to rush up to Imperial yourself. And number 3, double down on Castle Age and just produce a lot of units. The problem for our Burmese is these Arambai are not a cheap unit. I mean, 75 wood, 60 gold is not a cheap unit. And so he didn't really have anything behind it. There was nothing. He could have gone infantry maybe with the extra attack. Remember, the Burmese in Castle Age, their infantry come with a +2 attack. So if he got iron casting as well, they'd be sitting at a +4 attack right now. But didn't really have a chance to. Hera just, I mean, look at this. Every one of these dead grass spots is where a structure used to be. And now most of these are farms, but look at how much dead grass there is around here. And that just shows you just how incredible the offensive was on both sides of the map. And it looks like our Burmese was transitioning to light cav just to, you know what, why the hell not just spam, or not our Burmese, sorry, our Armenian, just spam, even though they don't get the last armor upgrade, even though there's no hussars, he would just endlessly spam them because they are trash units. And we know what Hera can do. We know what he's capable of when he starts spamming those light cavalry units towards the end of a game. Ultimately, the base trade did not go in favor of our Burmese. It is our Armenian with the castles and with the quicker Imperial and therefore the quicker treb timing that absolutely takes this game in a resounding fashion, though kill count tells us that this was not an easy fight for Hera. This was about as bloody and as close as it could have been, but ultimately that quicker Imperial won him the day. Hera is victorious, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.